Hey photographer, Jessica Whitaker here. In this video, we are going to be comparing 7 prime lenses. We're gonna start out at a 14mm, 24mm, 35mm, 50, 85, 135, and then go up to a 200mm. We're just doing this video for fun to give you a general idea of how each lens would work in a portrait situation. All the lenses are Canon with the exception of the 24mm, which is a Sigma Art. I'll be shooting on a full frame camera, the Canon 5D Mark IV. I'll shoot 2 ways with this video. One where I have the camera mounted on a tripod and the model stays in the same spot and so does the camera. And then I'll also freehand it where the model stays in the same spot and I will move back. If you want to view the images up close, I'll have a gallery link down below as well as all of the lenses that we used. If you want more information on each lens and what situation they'd be most appropriate in, I will have corresponding videos I've already created linked down below. One, two, three. Okay, one more time. Yep, beautiful. You see how I have like yell to be able to, from how far away I am? Beautiful, that was perfect. So I wanted to shoot as wide open as this lens would let me, which is 1.2. And there's also a 1.4, a 1.8 available, so different lower price points. Now, if we're just talking about the focal length and not the aperture, not how wide it can get, I love an 85 and a 50 for portrait photography. And these two are really popular lenses that people are usually choosing between in the Build and Bloom Facebook group. Should I get the 50 or the 85? I did create a video that I'm talking about the differences between the 50 and the 85, its comparison, and we're gonna go way more into depth in those videos. So this video isn't gonna be like a review on anything, it's just simply showing the differences visually between the lens for a portrait situation, but not all the lenses are appropriate for portraits, like a 14-24. Doesn't mean you can't use them for portraits. In fact, I have a video where I am using a 24mm for portrait photography just because it's a fun challenge. But the 85 is my personal favorite lens at the moment to shoot with. However, somebody pointed out on my Instagram that it gives off a more commercial look, which I do agree with. So it's going to depend on what you personally prefer, which is what photography is. It's subjective, it's art. It's just gonna depend what you like for the final product. So I personally love an 85, but I also will always have a 50 with me in my kit. So with that being said, let's switch over to the 50. We're gonna be doing the 1.2, and like the 85, there's different options for the 50. There's 1.8, which is a really affordable lens. It's a great price point. You can look at it about $200 used on KEH. And then there's a step up from that, which is 1.4. And then you have the higher price point, which is the 1.2, you're looking at about $1,000 or so. Beautiful. I'm gonna do, oh, this is already such manual focus. When she's so far away, it makes it harder to nail the focus. With the 50 and the 85, at least with the 1.2 lenses that I'm using. Beautiful. There we go. Oh my goodness. KEH is kindly sponsoring this video and they've provided most of these lenses. Now, if you're in the market to expand your collection, whether it's with a lens, camera, or maybe you're looking to change your kit completely, upgrading to mirrorless. KEH Camera is the best place to buy used camera equipment because of the thorough quality inspection that they do with every product that passes through their warehouse. There's a common misconception that because you're buying used, you're buying damaged goods, when that couldn't be further from the truth when you go through KEH Camera. Now, if you were to buy off of a third-party auction site or social media marketplace, you do run that risk. Think about it this way. If you were to sell some of your camera equipment, you're probably gonna go for the items that are just collecting dust on your bookshelf or taking up space in your camera bag, things that are gently used. So it's the same on KEH. I'll have a code for KEH and also a selling bonus linked down in the description box below. Bookmark KEH for later because it's an amazing resource. And for those who want to get into film photography, KEH is the perfect place to buy your film gear. That's actually how I discovered them years ago. KEH with those coupon codes will be linked down in the description box below. Let's get back into the video. We're now over by the greenhouse and I'm gonna be shooting freehand. I'm gonna try my best to have Marina in the same spot on the camera. There's going to be a slight variation just because I am freehand, so it's going to be impossible to have it be exact like I can be with a tripod. This is going to give you a much better idea of how each lens interacts with a portrait. The 14mm, I mean, Marina said it best. She said I look like a gnome. No matter what you do trying to adjust the angle, it's going to look a little funky, but it could also create really fun images if that's what you want to go for. You could also use it for really silly photos of your dog up close. It can create a really interesting effect. So you can get creative. So get creative with the uses for each focal length. You don't have to use them for what they're intended for, but the 14mm is definitely going to give us gnome vibes today. So I am gonna wanna have Marina taking up most of the frame in these photos. And the way that I'm also being able to track it is I have her met at the kitty corner of the greenhouse. So where the two sides are coming in and they meet in that corner, I'm gonna just have her lined up against that. So that's gonna be my guide. Okay, you guys, so now we have switched to a 35. This is one of the most popular focal lengths in the Build and Bloom Facebook group. 35 is great because it's very versatile. You're gonna be able to get great lifestyle shots and then also portraits, but it does warp the face and the body. So you do have to be quite careful with how you are angling the camera. Now we're moving into the portrait lenses, starting with the 50. Gorgeous. And now I'm gonna start having to move back. Beautiful. Okay, now to my favorite one, the 85, and I'm gonna have to be a little bit further back. And actually, I'm having to move quite a bit left and right with these different lens changes. Beautiful. Just double checking for you guys that it's gonna be about the exact as I can eyeball it, but it's gonna be able to give you a good idea. Gorgeous. Love the 135 as well. So similar though to the 85 that I wouldn't be able to justify it in my own collection. It's gonna come down to personal preference. I think renting would be a great option. Okay, and then with these, I like to start using the actual viewfinder versus live mode. But I love live mode. I can see so much better and it's there for a reason, so why not use it, you know? If you're a photographer who's looking to join a kind, encouraging, and inclusive photography community, check out my free Facebook group. It's called Build and Bloom. This is the best place to ask questions about your specific photography business. So whether you need help drafting a response to a difficult client situation, or you just want an extra set of eyes on your website, maybe some advice about which lens from this video you might be purchasing, it's free to join. Just search up Build and Bloom in Facebook groups. The Build and Bloom Photography Podcast is now available for you to listen and learn on your favorite podcast platform. Be sure to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when new free videos for your photography business come out, and I will see you in my next video. Click right here to watch and to learn. I'll see you there.